everyone, and welcome to my A to Z of sewing terminology. Do not let jargon put you off sewing. Here we go. C is for couture. Couture is high-end dressmaking. It's not fast fashion. It's not the fashion that you find on the high street. Couture fashion simply is a garment made specifically for your measurements. Couture sewing can be done at home. You think haute couture is only high-end quality, sort of Dior, Versace sewing, but couture can be achieved at home. It just takes a hell of a lot of time and it takes a lot of attention to detail. There's lots of great books out there on couture sewing. I will actually link one below that I find fabulous. I know when I started out my sewing journey that I would never even have looked at this book, but believe me, as you go along and you learn the basics of sewing, couture sewing will be something that you'll be able to do, and it's actually just learning the tips and the bits and bobs that you do to just raise your garment standard up that wee bit higher. C is for chalk tack. So we use tailor's chalk. It transfers all the pattern markings to your fabric, and I would use tailor's chalk to do this. But chalk tacking is when you have your pattern on top of your fabric, and say at the point of a dart you have a circle. You take the pin, you put it through the pattern, you put your pattern on top, leave the pin in the fabric, simply take your tailor's chalk, mark an X, take out your pin, and there is your marking transferred to your pattern. So that is chalk tracing, and it's very simple. Chalk tracing is a lot faster than using sort of older techniques like tailor's tagging and bits and bobs. So anywhere where I can use tailor's chalk, I will. C is for a cutting mat. I have a couple of cutting mats in my sewing room. I use my cutting mat when I am using my rotary cutter, which is I suppose you can use your scissors or you can use a rotary cutter for some things as well. I know a lot of people actually prefer to use rotary cutters now than using scissors. I am still a big fan of the scissors, but if you prefer to use a rotary cutter, then you need a cutting mat just to protect your surfaces.